always have the right of way, so if you're standing when we make a sudden stop, you're probably going to meet the steel bench or the people in front of you. Neither of which is pleasant, so please make sure you remain seated at all times. With that, folks, we'd like to thank you once again for joining us here on the Serengeti Express, and we should be departing shortly. My name is Matt once again, and I will be your conductor. If you have any questions when we get to the next station, I'm located at the very, very back of the train. To all of our hardworking station masters. And in one big loud voice, everyone say goodbye, guys. One more time, folks, you knew better than that. Say goodbye, guys. All right, we are now on our way to Stanleyville. Keep looking to your right. You'll see a blue container with a tan overhang. That's home to our African penguins. The African penguins are a warm water species, unlike their cold cousins down south, and they're very friendly, so if you go over there, I guarantee one will swim up to you and try to say hi. That's the African penguins to the right. To the left and above us, we have the green-tracked roller coaster known as Cheetah Hunts. Cheetah Hunt is a launch coaster launching you 3 different times. Also to our left, we have a bunch of bushes. But past those bushes, folks, we have our pride of lions, spotted hyenas, meerkats, African hippos, porcupines, a Nile crocodile, and a bunch of other cool animals in the edge of Africa. Now it is a self-guided walking tour which you can enter via the train crossing by Cheetah Hunt or the bridge back at Nairobi Station. On the hill to our right, we have the white building known as the Serengeti Overlook. The Serengeti Overlook is a 3-part dining experience. The bottom half, you can get pizza, subs, sandwiches, all those wonderful lunchtime items. The top half, that's a fine dining experience. And somewhere in the middle, we have the Giraffe Bar, which is great for anyone ages 21 and older. As we pass the Serengeti Overlook, we are now entering Egypt. The first roller coaster you'll encounter here is known as Cobra's Curse. Unfortunately, Cobra's Curse will be closed for the remainder of the month. Now that roller coaster I mentioned, which is tan and blue in color, is known as Montu. Montu is named after the Egyptian god of war, and rightfully so. It'll take you up over 150 feet into the air and drop you down screaming at about 60 miles per hour. And there's also something very special about Montu, folks. If you'll notice, it's upside down. That's because it's an inverted roller coaster. So instead of sitting on top of the track, you're dangling below it when you go through 7 different inversions, meaning you go upside down 7 different times. Also to our right, underneath Montu, you'll find a bunch of hats, wallets, cell phones, and sometimes car keys. That's because anything you bring onto a large roller coaster like Montu becomes a projectile object. So please make sure you keep all personal items with somebody who's terrified of roller coasters, because you know they won't go on one. Unless you're like my family, you know, peer pressure, peer pressure. With that, we are now entering the Serengeti Veldt with all the animals, so please keep all hands, feet, and other appendages inside the train at all times, and I promise you won't lose them. Also, make sure you remain seated. As a bunch of people put their hands outside the train. Now, starting out to our left-hand side, you'll see a striped creature up there. It's known as the Grabby Zebra. Now, the Grabby Zebra is the largest and rarest of the zebra species. and is not related to the horse, even though it looks like one. It is actually related to the donkey or mule. Unlike most zebras, they also don't have a specific family group. They tend to change their group by the hour. Also to our left, we have the tiny tan creatures known as Impala. I think they're made by Chevrolet. Ours don't break down nearly as much though, and they run 55 miles per hour, making them the second fastest land mammal, right behind the cheetah, which runs 60. Also out there to the left, we have the long-necked creatures known as the Reticulated Giraffe. They can stand up to 18 feet tall and do practically everything in that position. That includes eating, drinking, sleeping, and of course, giving birth, which means a baby giraffe's first view of the world is a 6-foot fall straight to the ground. And when I say sleeping, folks, they don't actually sleep. They take 2 to 3 minute long naps all day and night, partially because they can't lay their long necks on the ground. And those long necks can weigh up to 800 pounds. Also to our left, we have the not tan animals, but the white animals known as the Ajax Antelope. The Ajax Antelope are from the Sahara Desert and have a really cool way of telling the temperature. When it's hot outside like it is now, they turn white, but when it's cold outside, they turn brown. If you didn't know, darker colors retain heat better. Coming up on our left, we have another zebra species, both on top of the hill and out by that dirt road. That is the Grant zebra. As you can see, it is significantly smaller than the Grabby zebra. And also, unlike the Grabby, it has big, bold stripes that go all the way around its body. Now, contrary to belief, zebra are not black and white. They are actually dark brown and white. You can usually tell because when they're younger, they are light brown and white, and they just get darker with age, but they never become fully black. Also to the left out there, we have the gray and black animals with the small horns, known as wildebeest. The wildebeest have been known to travel in a herd of up to 1 million alongside the Grant zebra in something called the Great Migration. This can kick up a dust cloud so large, it can be seen from the International Space Station. There are only 2 species of wildebeest in the world. The first one to our left is the white-bearded, and the other one is the black. Now the black wildebeest does not travel in the Great Migration. It is a very solitary animal. And though wildebeest may look like cows or bulls, they are actually related to antelope. They are in the Bovidae genus. Also on the hill to the left, a very rare sight. We don't usually see these animals out because they hide amongst the trees. The tan animal right there is known as the Greater Kudu. Now the Greater Kudu is one of the largest of the antelope species, and all of ours are female. If we did have a male, they would have large horns that turn 2.5 times and go to a height of 2.5 feet. The animals themselves, though, grow up almost 6'3". Also to the left, the tiny tan ones, those are known as the Grant's Gazelles. They look a lot like the Thompson's Gazelles back at the Nairobi station and are close cousins, but they run slightly faster at about 50 miles per hour and are slightly larger. The ones to the right with the shaggy brown fur, my goodness, I can't talk today, those are known as the Sable Antelope. Now the Sable Antelope have a matriarchal society, which means the dominant female runs the entire herd, and all the boys are kicked out at about the age of 3, kind of like my stepbrother, but, you know, he was 30. They've also been known to sit in all directions to watch for predators, as a family group. Also to our right, the giant walking boulders known as white rhino. Please remain seated. Please remain seated. All right. Now the white rhino are the 3rd largest land mammal. They can run up to 36 miles per hour and weigh up to 6,000 pounds. There are 5 subspecies of rhino in the world. 3 of them are from Asia and 2 of them are from Africa. My goodness, I'm getting all the things mixed up today. Look to your right as well, we have the shaggy brown creatures out there known as Dufasa waterbuck. Now, contrary to their name, they are not aquatic creatures. However, they will run to water if they feel threatened by a predator, and if you looked closely, you'll notice they have a perfectly heart-shaped nose. Inside, we have the tall creatures known as the Rednecked Ostriches. The Rednecked Ostrich can stand up to 9 feet tall and run up to 42 miles per hour, but those legs aren't just for running, folks. They can knock out a full-grown lion with 1 kick. look all the way out there, on top of the hill, you'll see a black-feathered bird with a bald head. It's known as the Marabou Stork. It has the largest wingspan of any stork, up to 9 feet from wingtip to wingtip. Now folks, we are entering the Congo area of our park. Look up to your right-hand side, you'll see the main roller coaster here. It's known as Kumba. Now Kumba in an African dialect means roar, and well, roar she does. That's because the track of Kumba, unlike most roller coasters, is completely hollow. So for example, Shikra has condensed sand in the center of the track to dampen the noise, but Kumba has nothing, so when you're going over the track at 60 miles per hour, it creates a very loud roar-like echo. It'll also take you up to a maximum height of 146 feet, and just like Montu, put you through 7 different inversions, meaning once again you go upside down 7 times, but this time, that once again is Congo, the Congo River Rapids, in the Congo area. Also to our right, past the green fence, you may see a red/brown animal out there. It may be all the way towards the back fence. That's because they're nocturnal, which means they sleep during the day. Those are known as the Bongo Antelope. They were so hard to find at one point that they were thought to be extinct, but were rediscovered in the 1950s.